Bethesda's first new IP is on its way after 25 years under the name Starfield, and in this video we're going to review all the details that have been released from the game. For various reasons, we sometimes forget how big news is the creation of a new science fiction IP, role-playing, free and huge world by a company called Bethesda after about 25 years. In fact, the news is so important to the video game industry that even the terrible bustle of the 2022 title calendar failed to overshadow it, and there's no doubt that over time, the news around Starfield gaming will increase. Without a doubt, Bethesda is considered one of the top game companies in history and perhaps the top producer of role-playing titles, and the company shocked its fans by introducing a new title in 2018. As noted, the news was huge given the lack of a new IP in the last 25 years by Bethesda. According to the published information, instead of dealing with the waste of atomic warfare or dragons, we are going to adventure in another system in space. In this video, we have collected all the published information from this game and we intend to review them again. Undoubtedly, Starfield lack of released for PlayStation consoles is considered one of the most important and perhaps the most important official news releases of the game. The news was first made official at the E3 2021 event, and accordingly, only the platform owners of PC and Xbox X S series consoles can experience it. Following this, Todd Howard, as the legendary director of Bethesda flagship titles including Starfield, he said in an interview that the focus on this project will be greater with its exclusive consolarization and this is in Starfield's best interests. However, he is certainly aware of the opinions of PlayStation console owners who cannot experience the game, but it is not a decision that is the responsibility of a person and there have been many things involved. Some fans of Bethesda titles continue to believe that Starfield could also be released for the PlayStation in the future, but given that Microsoft now owns Bethesda and the game is a very heavyweight and so-called system seller for the company's platforms, realizing this will be far-fetched even in the distant future. As revealed hours before the E3 2021 event, the game is set to debut on the 11th of November 2022. But just take a look at the release date of this game and think about the dramaticity of choosing this date. On the other hand, long before the official announcement of the game's release date, celebrities operating in the video game industry had repeatedly stated that Starfield might be released in 2020, then 2021 and even early 2022. Todd Howard also repeatedly stated that the release date of the game is final and that all parts of the game can now be experienced. In sum, if we put these mentioned topics in a container, we will come to the conclusion that Starfield will be available long before its release date arrives. Assuming that the hypothesis mentioned is true, it is likely that this extra time has been provided to the company due to the release of Halo Infinite or even the escape of Starfield from Bethesda's awful technical graphics syndrome. It is less than a year from now until the game's release, and Bethesda lovers can now raise money to buy Starfield Collector Edition. Bethesda owes a big apology to its lovers because it's been a few years since the game was introduced at the event at E3 2018, leaving its fans with a second video. The trailer displays the star of a system shining a light on one of its planets, and then the camera goes to a space station with a completely modern look. A second later, a gap appears in space that appears to be dragging everything into itself. This apparent gap can be similar to anything, but our guess is a singularity, wormhole or anomaly in the fabric of space. After long waits, Bethesda finally unveiled the new Starfield trailer at the E3 2021 event. The trailer was another brief look at the game and tried to capture a clue to the story, the narrative of the game and, most importantly, Bethesda's determination to break tradition and provide the visual and technical quality of the standard of the day. In this trailer, we witness the role of an astronaut trying to get off an alien planet with his ship. The trailer hosted a monologue during its own time, discussing the timelessness of space. Among the sub-points of this trailer was the reference to Hammerfall Land from the Elder Scrolls series, which probably refers to the content of the 6th edition of the series. About 2 months ago, Bethesda unveiled a new documentary series for Starfield game Into the Starfield. The series will host various episodes of documentary videos in which different people will discuss Bethesda's ambitious role-playing. In the first episode of the series, called The Endless Pursuit, Todd Howard, artistic director of the game Matt Carafano and director of Angela Browder Studio, spoke in. The three prominent and well-known people in the episode talked about Starfield ambitions, the studio passion for making the title and the things that await gamers. In this episode of the documentary Into the Starfield, Matt Carafano claimed that the game was more realistic than Bethesda's other titles. Of course, the core of the game will be the same as the Elder Scrolls and Explorer-based Fallout. Also, in this video, Todd Howard uses the word "step out" to create a wave of different hypotheses among gamers. As you know, the word "step out" in Bethesda titles is called the moment gamers enter the gaming world. This phenomenon occurs in the Elder Scrolls games by exiting caves and in Fallout titles by leaving vaults, and according to a large number of Bethesda enthusiasts, the word should be recorded in a dictionary called Bethesda. And on this theme, Todd Howard's claim, Starfield includes "step out." If you have guessed what he meant by saying this word, be sure to share it with us in the comments section. While the published details of the Starfield game are very limited, we have a general idea of what title we'll be faced with. Bethesda is known for its huge free world roles. Also, the company has proven its unparalleled skill in stage design, multi-layered missions and narrative stories and deep stories small and large for each of its NPCs many times with different titles, The Elder Scrolls and Fallout. Therefore, it is very likely that Starfield games will follow this formula as well. According to Todd Howard, Starfield will be more challenging than other Bethesda titles in so-called hardcore, and will have a huge world. His remarks make Starfield look similar to what we expect from Bethesda. On the other hand, we expect Bethesda to inject its art into the game in principle. Without a doubt, if Starfield can be qualitatively in the sizes of Elder Scrolls, Skyrim and fix only some of its flaws, it can still be dubbed the best or one of the best of 2022 and get good scores from critics. But as a gamer and lover of Fallout and Elder Scrolls collections, our expectation of Bethesda is to create a unique title by deconstructing, taking risks and regardless of the disgusting Metacritic scores, so that we can expect more and more romance to release its new titles. Of course, don't push your thoughts to the margins. We don't mean this restructuring and risk acceptance, something similar to the promises made about Cyberpunk 2077. In fact, if you take a general look at the Bethesda collections, you'll find that each has its own unique elements. For example, the Elder Scrolls games are more well known by stories, conversations, multiple weapons, spells, and so on. Also, Fallout games also represent the presence of gamers with terminals, robots, unique guns, Pip-Boy and VATS. As a result, we expect Starfield to be unique in this area as well, defining a new standard. In September 2020, Bethesda released a statement about the effects of its purchase by Microsoft, praising the hardware power of Xbox X S series consoles. In the statement, Todd Howard claimed that this has caused the biggest changes to Bethesda gaming engine since the making of the Elder Scrolls Oblivion game. Now, Bethesda has been producing its own games using the engine, Creation, for years. This game engine has been used in the construction of titles such as the Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion as well as the Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim, Fallout 3, Fallout 4 and Fallout 76. On the other hand, Starfield games will also be made using this engine, but the remarkable thing is that this engine has undergone huge changes using Microsoft's huge funds and even some people working in Bethesda. Due to the extent of these changes, call it Recreation or Creation 2.0. Bethesda games are largely known for the practical freedom they offer gamers. Apparently, personalization at Starfield is set to enter a new dimension in so-called modernization. Todd Howard confirmed in an interview that gamers at Starfield can even choose their preferred pronouns so that dialogues can be changed based on their selection. In fact, all dialogues in this game have been recorded individually, taking into account specific branches and languages, and the game will not be weak in that respect. As expected, the fictional background, skills and other effective elements in the game will also be deeply customized. Releasing Starfield placement in the game service was perhaps the easiest guess we could make. With the purchase of Bethesda by Microsoft, this American superholding announced that all new and old Bethesda games will be in the Game Pass service and, of course, Starfield includes this service. So if you're a Game Pass subscriber, then you can experience it on PC and Xbox X S series consoles, without paying any fees and at the time of launching the game. The items mentioned are among the officially released information from the Starfield game. Of course, in addition to these, a few conceptual designs of the game were also published that naturally cannot be cited and harvested very reliable, and the final product may have many differences with them. In any case, if you like us or impatiently waiting for the release date of this game, share with us your ideas and expectations from Starfield in the comments section.